I would to God that not only you, but also all who hear me this very day might become as I am, except for these chains. It is Friday, the first day of September 2023, and it's time to open up our devotional book to today's date, September 1st, and read our devotional thought from the book Truth for Life by Pastor Alistair Begg. Today's devotional thought is entitled Theology for Life. And the verse today, Acts chapter 26, verse 29, which reads, I would to God that not only you, but also all who hear me this very day might become as I am, except for these chains. That's Acts chapter 26, verse 29. Alistair Begg writes, Paul's beliefs were forged in the furnace of life. When his legs were virtually cut out from underneath him, he learned all the more that God is in control. It was during Paul's second year imprisonment in Rome that he wrote letters to the Ephesians, Philippians, Colossian churches, and to his friend Philemon. It was during this season of suffering that God encouraged him to write of Jesus, quote, in him all things hold together, end of quote. And that's Colossians chapter 1, verse 17. When he wrote to the Ephesians, he urged them to see that God, who is sovereign over all, has put all things under Jesus' feet, Ephesians 1, verse 22. These truths were not theoretical. Paul relied upon them during the most difficult seasons of his life. Paul's experiences doubtless helped him to understand more deeply what he needed the gospel not just for salvation, but for all of life. We too need the gospel daily, the good news that Jesus died in the place of sinners and that he was raised for our justification, and he sent the Spirit to sanctify us and to fill us. The gospel creates within us a confident expectation of the return of Jesus. It causes us to view the world from a heavenly perspective. John Stott, who was unparalleled in his ability to synthesize and succinctly condense vast amounts of material, summarized the impact of Paul's imprisonment upon the theology in this way, quote, Paul's perspective was adjusted, his horizon extended, his vision clarified, and his witness enriched, end of quote. His change did not become an occasion for disappointment or regret. Rather, his trial, which kept him in the state of weakness and dependency upon God, altered his perspective and shed light on the horizon. He was able to stand before a Roman governor, a king, a queen, and say, what you have, you cannot keep. What I have, I cannot lose. I wish you could become like me, a sinner saved by grace, an heir to eternal life. I would not like for you to share my chains, but I would love for you to share my faith. Paul experienced the very truth that he had written to the Romans years earlier. Quote, we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. End of quote. And that's Romans chapter 8, verse 28. This was so not only for Paul, but it's also true for all who have placed their faith in Jesus Christ. Are you facing a discouraging trial? Take courage. You have all you truly need, and you cannot lose it. All the riches and comfort that this world could offer do not compare to what you have in the gospel. Christ in you, the hope of glory. Colossians chapter 1, verse 27. Christian theology is not an ivory tower, but for the prison cell and for the trials. Let the truths of the gospel strengthen your soul, shape your perspective as you cling to the hope that Christ has purchased for you. May you truly find that hope today, because it has been purchased for you. Perhaps you need to rehearse the gospel to yourself today. That's truly the theology for life. And may the Lord bless you as you contemplate that life and you live it this very day. And those of you reading through the scriptures in a year, your assignment today is Psalms 135 and 136. Also 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verses 1 through 15. Clive Walsh here. May the Lord richly bless you.